What's up everyone, John here, lead maintainer of Ladderly.io, the open source software engineering career development platform, help you learn to code, land your first or next programming role, and grow your social and professional networks. Today, I want to improve the Leetcode tool. So if you click on the Grow tab, you can go to the Leetcode tool. Oh no, you got to sign up. You can sign up for free. So you sign up for free, you log in, and now you can see the Leetcode tool. And it'll give you like a random Leetcode problem to work on based on some cool sources like the Grind 75, Leetcode 250, Ladderly's own Leetcode 500, the largest Leetcode problem set out there, and then Sean Prashad's patterns. Okay, so these are like some of the places we go for Leetcode prep, right? So why is this a bummer right now? Why it's a bummer right now, I mean, first of all, you can see like there's clipping on the dropdown, whatever, that's kind of small. I would still like it to be better. That's not really the focus right now. The focus right now is I want to be able to click a link, so it doesn't have a link. And then I also want to be able to filter by pattern. So currently you can filter by source, but you can't filter by pattern. I want to be able to filter by pattern. Third thing I want to do is search by problem name. I want to be able to search by the name. So if I'm like, did I do that one? If I search for it, I can't find it. Those are the three things, and I have to scroll down and click over on this, and this is a bummer. And this is kind of ugly too. So this could be prettier, but that's not the big deal. The big deal is I want to be able to search. Okay, so let's dive in. So here I have cursor running, and I told cursor I want to enhance the Leetcode tool page in 3 ways. I gave it the requirements. Number 1, as a user, click a Leetcode problem name in the list view, and the Leetcode URL should be opened in a new tab. So I already am anticipating what I want the AI to do. I want it to use target blank, which will open a new browser tab. Okay. 2, I should be able to search for a Leetcode problem by name using a text field at the top of the page. So now I've included instruction about where I want that field to be placed. And 3, I should be able to pick a pattern name from a drop-down. So let's see how it did. Number 1, I got this anchor dropped here. Target blank, so far so good. Welcome in. Let me make sure that I'm looking at the right chat here, by the way. Okay, cool. All right, now search control. We're gonna see if this works. We're gonna fall back to URL search params. That's good. That's a type fix. But I want to do the functional validation. So that's going to be good for typing, but I want to make sure it actually works. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll examine create unified Leetcode list. Ah, good. I didn't even include that. So this is like loading the Leetcode data from this base. And it doesn't mention the patterns. So that's going to be important. Okay, one thing at a time. So first thing, we'll go over to localhost. Here I am. We'll go to the Leetcode tool on localhost. And, ooh, we can immediately see a problem here, right? But does the link work? Boom. Yeah, that looks good. I'm not logged into Leetcode right now, but that's okay. What about add binary? What about all 3 of these? Asteroid collision. That's already way better, right? Super stoked. Okay. Now, the second thing is that I want to search by name. And so yes, there's like a formatting structural HTML style issue, but let's make sure that the function is working. Okay. Oh, it's on key up, key down. How about 3 sum? Okay. So it's pulling these, which are on this first page, but what if I grab one that's on a different page? Find peak element, okay? So I'm going back here to the first page. Find peak element is not gonna be on here. It's sorted deterministically. That's an interesting thing to note. So I'm gonna say peak, and we found it. Find peak element. It says it's in Sean Prashad's patterns, but actually that's in mine as well. It's in both. So I need to recompile. I I need to recompile. We could do that in this ticket, or we could split it up. Find peak element. I think we can include that in this stream. So the unified list over here, there's no patterns on them. There's no patterns on them. So how are we going to get those patterns? Let's go ahead and commit what we've got so far. So the feature here is feat links work for Leetcode, and search by name works. But what are we missing? What we're missing is the filter by pattern. Well, at least I didn't validate it. Maybe it's going to work. Let's see. So I go over here, and I want to filter by source. Yeah, but I don't see filter by pattern. Filter problems allows me to filter by source, but not filter by pattern. So let's go work on this. Here's the unified Leetcode problems. Expanded kata. See how the expanded kata has patterns. And yeah, we'll just, do I want the order ID preserved? That's interesting, right? Because these others, I don't have the order ID. These others, I don't have the order ID. Can I find patterns by Leetcode problem name? Look, the name is inconsistent. The name is inconsistent, bro. It should be called 16 threesome closest. It's just called threesome closest. And why is it on there twice? What is going on? It's on here 3 times. Threesome closest, threesome closest, threesome closest. Okay, from the grind 75, Sean Prashad patterns, laterally expanded kata. That's why it's on there 3 times. So what happens if I search over here? Threesome. Threesome closest is mentioned twice. Because it's deduping off of the name. Let's just get rid of this. Okay, so we get rid of that. Is description included in any of these? Grind 75, description. Okay. Palindrome linked list, description, description. Description. Okay, cool. So we got rid of those description bits. Let me commit that. So I want the patterns to be included. I want the patterns to be included. And palindrome linked list. Oh, look at the trailing slash. Okay, so there's a few things that I want to do. Notice, see how the expanded kata has patterns. Let's include that in the compilation of unified Leetcode problems.json. In addition, we should compare duplicates in a more advanced way. Palindrome linked list should be considered a duplicate of 234 palindrome. 234 palindrome linked list. So let's use a regex that ignores an initial number dot space pattern. Azure or AWS, what do you prefer? AWS for sure. AWS for sure. Should be considered a duplicate of so let's ignore trailing slashes and only begin and only compare the substring after problems. Okay. Do you know how to reverse a linked list? I do. Do you? Fun stuff. Okay, so I think we're going to come out of this with a smaller unified Leetcode problems JSON. Do you remember data structures and algos even while being a full-time SWE? I do, but that's just because I keep practicing Leetcode. Some data structures you actually use all the time, but a lot of them you don't. Like, we're not using tries. We're not using tries on the job. You know what I mean? But do you know how to solve two sum? I can solve one sum. Will you give me a job if I can solve one sum? I can only do the odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5. I can't do 2 and 4. Okay, so it wants to run it this way. I think that's not going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because it's trying to use PowerShell. So here, I will run the script myself. Laterally IO scripts, okay? So now I'm in git bash, and I'm going to, I think I have Python rather than Python 3. Let me double check. Python version, good. I might need to get my virtual environment going. Yeah, okay, so I need to get my virtual environment going, so I need to cd into scripts, Python. If I ls here, I have the UV lock, so here I will source Vim. Oh, I don't source on Windows, do I? I just Vim. What do I do over here? Scripts, Python, exit. I guess not. Is it in the README? I'm forgetting how to source it on Windows. So here's UV sync, source. Like that? No? Source vim on Windows. Bin scripts activate. Yeah, scripts. Why was I not seeing it? I looked in the scripts folder, right? Thank you. Okay, so I got in the README for next time. Okay, cool. Do I see any difference between engineers who have a CS degree and those who are self-taught? Yeah, I do. I do. There's a bunch of differences. One of the really interesting things, by the way, is that they both suffer a soft skills deficit. So my training is in economics with an emphasis on employer preference. And I studied boot camps specifically. I have a PhD in this. So we could talk about the difference in technical training. But one of the more surprising results is that compared to employer preference, both kinds of candidates, with and without the college degree, in and without the boot camp experience, both kinds of candidates have a soft skill deficit. That's going to be the bigger thing that you should probably focus on for your own career development instead of comparing yourself, oh, do I have a college degree? Do I not have a college degree? It doesn't matter. Work on soft skills. That's going to be good for your career. Okay, so yeah, we'll store the README. And now that I sourced it, now I can run my little script here. So Python, create unified Leetcode list. Oh, I missed the letter T. How did I do that? Leetcode list. Wow, the file really has a typo in it. How does one improve soft skills? Great question. So you can go to Lateral, you can sign up for free, you can go to the blog. Foundations of Professional Verbal Communication is going to be a big one. So article number 30, this is going to be a big one. Time management is a super crucial soft skill. Okay, here's dozens of time management techniques. So check out the blog for these. Verbal communication, nonverbal communication, both important. Empathy. So being able to understand what the other person wants and to create a synthesized plan that will generate support from multiple people. So some of this is just familiarity with the job families and tasks and incentives and goals. Like, how are you going to empathize with a product manager when you don't even know what their job is? So learning a bit about the job families. Using questions is a really good soft skill. Using curiosity. So if you have a disagreement with a coworker, this is the stuff we talk about in behavioral interview, by the way. Tell me about a time you had a conflict with a coworker, or tell me about a time that you had to manage expectations with a stakeholder or with a customer. These are all examples where soft skills are really important. And so one thing that you can do is take ownership, so don't blame others. So if you want to manage expectations with a customer, one thing that you can do is Hopefully you're owning it sort of end to end. If you come in the middle of a project that's already busted, that's a different situation. But if you own it from the beginning, you can do your technical planning and then set expectations with them. That's going to be a big one. Negotiating scope. Getting that expectation set properly and getting that scope negotiated properly is going to be a huge way to make your customer happy, because you don't surprise them with underperformance. That's an easy way to make your customer mad, isn't it? Communication is big. Also, just practice making content. So like making content on social media, it's going to improve your writing and your speaking, depending on what sort of content you're making. So writing a lot on Substack or even on social media, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, whatever. Just practicing writing. Get your reps in. That's it. If you want to speak better, get your reps in speaking. If you want to write better, get your reps in writing. And STAR method, or let's say advanced behavioral interview prep. So this is more targeted to the interview and those behavioral interviews in particular. But it will include some things that will improve your soft skills. So the focus here is going to be presenting that you have soft skills rather than generating those soft skills, but you can kind of reverse the logic and say, oh, well, if that's what I want to present, maybe that's what I should develop. You see what I'm saying? Okay, that's a third way. And the fourth one will be design docs. Ooh, what just happened? Design. Awesome design docs, how and why to make them. So this is actually going to have information related to soft skills, tangential topics, leadership, persuasion, influence, communication. When you make a killer design doc, you then need to socialize and gain adoption. Do I talk about the onion method here? Onion. I guess I don't talk about it here. Do I talk about the onion method here? Onion. Yeah, good. Okay, so this is an example of using soft skill to gain. Woo. Here's the revived section without the that's not supposed to be there. Refine your communication by initially presenting your message to small. Yeah. That should just not be there. Let me delete that. Okay. Anyway, I think I answered the question. If you have any follow-up questions, let me know. What do CS degrees do right and what do they do wrong in your opinion? Well, the big problem is barrier to entry and cost, right? And so a CS degree is only moderately interesting. I mean, they teach you fundamentals. That's good. That's something they do right. But then you need to ask, like, which college? So saying a CS degree is moderately interesting, but comparing across schools, even for that same degree, is a really big deal. So a CS degree from MIT and a CS degree from, I don't want to pick on any particular colleges, but from a lower ranked school, I'll leave it ambiguous. They're not the same. They're not the same at all. One of the things CS degrees do very poorly is career services. And this is not just CS degrees. This is the university system in general. The university system, the typical school, you have exceptions, which are awesome schools, but the typical school does not have very good career services, which is helping their students land jobs. By the way, same for the typical coding boot camp. Okay, the typical boot camp is not very helpful. What you want to do is get a prestigious boot camp, and they can even guarantee you a job. Fantastic thing to do. If you can get a prestigious boot camp, not a random, not an average, not a medium, go awesome or don't get one at all. And that's not just like a thing, that's not just like a mantra. It kind of sounds like something someone might say if they were just elitist, like go big or go home, go awesome or don't spend it at all. It just seems like some kind of rhetorical trick, but there's actually research showing, and actually my research shows, that if you utilize a school which follows the prestige rule, it's a fantastic financial investment. And if you utilize a typical boot camp, it's uncorrelated to hire ability. So I'm saying this based on research, not just based on like, I don't know, whatever tech influencers base their random statements on. People be saying crazy things, and then you're like, why? And they're just like word vomiting on you with the worst justifications. But you can check the blog. Once again, everything's documented in the blog. It's all open source, and the prestige rule is here as well. Zach Wilson's bootcamp is solid for data engineering. Yeah, I refer him. So if you go to ladderly.io/perks, dataexpert.io, you can get a 20% discount. This is the one from Zach Wilson. By the way, I'd be curious why you say it's solid for data engineering. Why do you say that? So Zach Wilson doesn't have published employment rate outcomes, does he? Okay, so we're going to do Python create unified. All right. And so here, the patterns came out. Oh, patterns were already here. Integer to English words was already here. Interesting. BFS, DFS tree algorithm, it just sorted it around. So they were already there. Okay, so a bunch of these already have patterns. They're just not being loaded into the database. Why am I still seeing duplicates? Or am I? I thought I was still seeing duplicates. Sum. Threesome closest. Okay, maybe this is already deduplicated. That's cool. Whoa. Gotcha. Okay, so I guess I ran it twice or something. So here we dropped about 600 lines. So that's the new deduplication drop. Word squares is coming from multiple. Okay, so now we dedupe word search 79 and word. Where's this? Word search. Yeah. Do they just all say multiple now? Hold on, this is bad. O1 matrix. Is it really coming from multiple? Because I just see it in the Leetcode grind 75. Why does it say multiple? O1 matrix. I ran it and I see problems over-identified as multiple. Yeah, that's interesting. Chill guy was saying Zach Wilson, but I asked him why. He hasn't responded. It's saying that it was outputting to a wrong path. No, it wasn't. It was outputting fine. It's right here. Movie Man, what's up? So O1 matrix is only the grind 75, but it's identified as multiple. Let's see why that's happening. Steve, welcome in. Good to see you. How do you set up live streaming on a Mac? Well, I'm currently on Windows, and it will depend on what software you're using. If you use Restream, louderly.io/perks, you can get a $10 credit on Restream. So this is what I use. And there will be two ways to set up with Restream. One will be a desktop client that you download, and the other will be an in-browser tool that's just like you share your screen, just like you're sharing with Zoom or you're sharing with Google Meet. Restream has a share your screen option from the Restream Studio, and that's an easy way to stream with a Mac. I really like doing that with my laptop when I'm on the go. A drawback of that approach is that last time I checked, Restream does not connect to TikTok. So I'm connecting to TikTok through OBS. And I guess I don't have a discount for them. But you can look at OBS Studio. And you can combine them, and that's what I do, by the way. So my OBS sends to TikTok and Restream, and then my Restream fans out to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and so on. The advantage of using OBS is that it can connect to TikTok. But as far as I know, that's only going to work on Windows. Unless something has changed. I have not tried that in several months, but I had trouble with it in the past. So setting up streaming on Mac is pretty straightforward, but streaming to TikTok in particular, different ballgame. Look at this, the tool is editing this create unified Leetcode list. You are creating a file name with a typo. It should be called create unified Leetcode list.py, including the letter T. Yeah, TikTok is the key question, thanks. You got it. You got it. Man, cursor in PowerShell is just the worst. So I'm telling it to stop. Okay, so here's what it's changed. We'll grab the directory, fine. JSON files, okay? And if it's not called unified, so yeah, okay. So it was rereading, that's what was happening. The logic was saying that it came from multiple because it was rereading the prior output. Now it's moving to skip. That's exactly what it should do. Okay, so let's try it again. And now I should see many fewer instances of the source attribution multiple. It's written it to a different place. Okay, it wrote it to, so Latterly Prisma seed utils. Latterly scripts Python Leetcode problems. It's written it to a different place. That's why I'm not getting a diff. The output should be here, not in seed utils. Don't run any PowerShell commands. If you want to run a terminal command, give me the git bash syntax and I'll run it for you. Oh goodness, it's just a matter, so I just fat fingered it again. I mean, it happens like once a stream. It's just a matter of time until someone fat fingers a command and is like, don't murder everyone. Oops, typo, murder everyone. And then we're cooked. That is so predictable, homie. We need to get some guardrails in for that. So I'm going to drop this file. I'm expecting that the unified Leetcode list creation script will be fixed. I will rerun it, and then I want to see the diff on this JSON. Someone lurking off of TikTok. Who is that? Are you Twitch or YouTube? I can't tell. Oh, I guess someone's on Kick. What's up, Kick? Long time no see. All right, so here is the output directory. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Now it's properly annotated, grind 75, patterns, empty, empty, fine, 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 grind 75, neat code 250. Now we're cooking, chat. And then how about that threesome? Threesome. Threesome is properly annotated as multiple. And word search is properly annotated as multiple. All right, this looks good to me. Okay, so this is fix multiple source attestation. Okay. So we have this better unified Leetcode problems. Now currently, Leetcode problems are implemented as a checklist, right? So here's seed courses, seed flashcards, update checklists. Let's see, unified Leetcode problems. Seed Leetcode checklist, here we go. And I'll say currently, Leetcode problems are stored as a checklist. How can we attach pattern data? This is not a generic checklist property. Should we add a JSONV column or other arbitrary meta column to the checklist entity? Or should we create a totally new entity so that Leetcode problems are not considered checklists any longer? I'm really tempted to switch over to, let's do it. We're switching over to GPT-5 now. Boop. Switch. Chill guy, would you ever leave industry and join academia as a professor? Yeah, maybe. They just need to pay me enough. All right. Shivong on YouTube. Hey bro, I'm a student currently learning DSA. Can you guide me how I can master DSA? Yeah, I really hate it when people talk about mastering anything. That's a pet peeve of mine. You're not going to master JavaScript. You could be 40 and you could be the creator of JavaScript and you won't have mastered it. There's going to be bits that you don't know. But anyway, article number 3, laterally standard Leetcode code. I'll read this. This is how you will be good enough at Leetcode to land FANG interviews, land FANG offers. That's what you want, right? You don't need to master it, you just need to pass the interview. By the way, FANG employees, engineers, only pass their own loops about 50% of the time. So did they master Leetcode? I don't think anyone has mastered Leetcode. Nobody, to my knowledge, there's not anyone who has done all Leetcode problems. Maybe there are 1 or 2 people, actually. There could be, okay, this guy. But he is ranked 4th. Okay, so maybe there's like 4 people that have done all of them. I don't know if that's true. But I don't think that that's what you want to do. Solved 3, so even this guy, there's 4 that he hasn't solved. This is just a poor use of your time. This is a poor use. I mean, he does it for fun, clearly, but he's not doing it because. So the difference between 3600 solved and 600 solved is a small difference in your interview performance. It's not a good use of your time if you're trying to optimize interview performance. But if you're doing it for fun, God bless, right? Right on, Vlad. Okay, so what's an efficient way to learn Leetcode? That's what this article is all about. So go read up, and then you can use the Leetcode tool. So under Grow is the Leetcode tool. And this is exactly what we're working on today. So this is the production environment, and then here's localhost where you can click the link. And I need to fix this before we deploy it. So that's what we're working on today. Tor, what should I do if I'm currently a junior SWE earning, but I want to jump to a better tech company? I've been working for 6 months now. Should I wait a minimum of a year? No, there's no need to wait a minimum of a year. You should join the Latterly TikTok and we can talk further, because the answer is what you should do depends on your specific details. The fact that you've been working for 6 months does not nearly tell me enough. I need to know, have you done projects so that you're capable of providing an advanced behavioral answer? So check out this article. Advanced Behavioral Interview Prep, Article 21. You can also use Ballparking Project Impact to help you construct those STAR method behavioral anecdotes. And you can use the Latterly Copilot tool to help you, if you want to just rubber duck, chat back and forth, and create some of those anecdotes. Okay, so you should end up with a Google Doc. You should end up with a Google Doc full of these like stories. And so if you have a bunch of these stories and they're demonstrating impact and you can crush Leetcode, then go ahead and interview. Why are you waiting 6 months? But if you don't have these stories, or you're not good at Leetcode, there you go. Before you start jumping ship, leaving your current job, you can spend some time Leetcode prep, behavioral interview prep, and also job search techniques. So just because you can pass an interview, we don't want to assume that you've gotten the interview. You actually need to work to get that interview and get it at a company that's right for you. So leveraging job boards to land your next programming role is going to be important. Social networking. Here's some social networking scripts. Read the blog, homie. If you want to, work on your resume, here you go. Chill Guy says 300 SQL questions too. Is this our buddy Vlad? I didn't catch how many SQL he did. Oh, good old Vlad. That'd be fun to do a stream with Vlad. So what am I doing now? What I'm doing now is we want to get back to making this Leetcode tool awesome. Okay, so here's localhost. And what is the current issue? The current issue is we're loading. Short answer, don't change the schema, reuse checklist item tags, and store patterns like that. Ooh, yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, GPT-5. So checklist item has a tag entity. And you can totally use it this way. Okay, I'm really rusty at Leetcode right now. Also prepping for an AWS cert. We'll check out your service later. Thanks. Rock on. Okay, so using tags is a very good solution here. Okay, that's it. So how should we do that? So we want to seed Leetcode checklists. That's a very good solution to use tags, update the seed logic to construct or to save the pattern tags properly. Also, let me know, let's see. I want to cascade delete the user checklist. Yeah, I just want to do a full reset. I don't know if that's necessary. Ideally, it is idempotent. So I can update the existing database records. Let me know if that isn't feasible, and we can investigate a more destructive approach. Tor3, thank you for the follow. Over 100 viewers on TikTok so far today. That's great. If you've enjoyed the video, consider tapping like. You can also give multiple likes, and that will help the algorithm send the video around so we can all learn to code. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll update, this is GPT-5 speaking, I'll update the seeding script to add pattern tags to each checklist item. So the AI assistant is suggesting that idempotency is feasible. We love to see it. Okay, that line looks good. Build tags. Looks good. Now I want to have source and patterns. So where's my tags? So here's my tags, build tags, okay? Source and patterns, good. Okay, and we're gonna find them and update them. Okay. I think there are going to be some bad records today. So I think I want to reset. I actually want to delete. I want to delete all the Leetcode problems today. So we'll do that in a second step. So this is feat idempotent Leetcode. Cedar. Okay. I'm looking in the database for these Leetcode problems. All right, so how will I run this seed? I think it's in the package.json. Yep, so I see it this way. npx Prisma seed, is it not? Yeah, db seed. Okay, npm run db seed. Well, how have I done this in the past? So database URL, next auth secret. No, I have that stuff. Let me take this off screen. It thinks I don't have it for some reason. Yeah, I definitely have the database URL there. Okay. So it's not getting the reference properly. Ask AI. Yeah, I might. I wanted to check myself. What's going on here? We are trying to seed the database, but this approach is not properly contacting the database. I'm in the laterally IO directory. Is this going to drag in env directly? No. It's going to drag in the DB here, source server DB, and that will grab the environment variables. Good. So I worry that my Leetcode, boom, 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 is not doing that correctly. Oh, it did. Actually, it did. Great. Okay, so yeah, we might ask the AI. Oh, I wonder if I just reset my database password and I haven't, I wonder if that's the issue. So the value is there, but it's not correct. Well, I am not in the mood currently to reset my database, my production database. Okay, let me, I want to compare it. So I'm opening Vercel. In another tab, I'm going to do this off screen. Going to settings, environment variables, database URL. Okay, and I'm going to drag this off screen, and I'm just going to make sure that they are aligned values. Nothing crazy. And they are already aligned, so no update is needed. Okay, good. That's what I expect, but that means that somehow this is not the right way to invoke. Probably I should have sent package.json to the AI tool. That would have been helpful to it. Hey, Orion Wealth Vendors. Hey, question. I'm starting my classes on September 1st. What do you recommend I do after to get a good job? So cybersecurity is a job family that highly values credentials. So you should sit for some prestigious cybersecurity certifications. Then you're also going to want to optimize your resume in LinkedIn, blog article 9. And you're going to need to do social networking scripts, number 17. Being aware of the job boards that are good for you will be helpful. So there's blog article 4. And you're going to want the spreadsheet. You need to track your applications. Okay, so that's in the resume article. Use this spreadsheet to track your applications. That's what I recommend. And then if you have specific questions later, you can feel free to follow up, but I think that's good for now. So I need to CD laterally and laterally IO, but I'm in there already. Thank you so much. It was very helpful. My pleasure. So next auth secret and next URL, it's saying that one of those might be. They're all there, dude, but okay, let me go check, I guess. Next auth secret, next auth URL. They are all there. How long have you been in the coding space for? About a dozen years, about 12 years. Okay, so the seed failure is basically unexpected, both to me and to GPT-5. That's what I'm seeing. I think that's fine. We can go work on this UI issue without needing to fix the seed issue at the moment. Sure is taking a while, bud. What you doing over there? So what do I want to do? Yeah, I want to go work on the front end. Oh, it's noticing something about CTS. That's cool. I think that's not needed. So it just added import.env config, and that didn't help. Yeah, so he's realizing that we should call .env with the specified dir name. I think that will help. Because notice that the seed file is a level down from where the env is. So this is looking better. And I'm suspecting that that could be the whole issue. If on this computer I have my secret file named env local, and on another computer I have it named env, that could be how this difference surprised me if I was working on another computer. Life of Snow, thanks for the follow. Musa Ali says, what are you coding? We are working on the Leetcode tool for latterly.io. Here it is. So I've added links. I want to add pattern filtering. And then I want to fix this form overflow. So it's using the current working directory. And this is potentially understandable. I say note that .env.local exists one level up in latterly.io, not in latterly.io Prisma, which contains cdts. So you see it's trying to call the path resolve current working directory. I think it needs to call the parent folder. Bud Swayze, what up on Kit? Welcome in. Yo, this is wild. It's still saying that it doesn't exist. That's actually wild. This is unexpected, but I see it's coming from T3 OSS, not from Prisma. Okay, so I think the issue is in our cutils. We're trying to get Prisma. Where do we get our client? Source env.js. I don't know why this guy's running at all. Let me get a look at the file history on this. Open file history. I think I changed this kind of recently. That was not helpful. Can I get an MR, like a merge request? It's just a dependency update, screenshots attached for the unit testing. Oh, okay. Let's go take a look. Where? I don't know if that was a joke. Sorry. Okay, so this is unexpected, but I see it's coming from T3 OSS, not from Prisma. I thought then this might be due to this DB thing over here. Yeah, because we import the env. This is exactly where it comes from. So here we import this env. And we are going to default to development. Okay. Create environment variable z string URL, database URL. It's going to say the next auth. Oh! No, that's not it either. What is going on here? All right, let me look at this. There might be an underscore difference. Next auth secret. No, it's literally the same. Well, here, I've copied it and made one called env, and that shouldn't make a difference, but who knows. Dude, I'm so mad that that fixed it. So, fine. So T3 was assuming I would call it .env, not .env.local. What a bummer, homie. I don't care. We're moving on. Can I revert this stuff up here? So let's see what I can revert here. So this file, those all seem fine. These are the bits that I don't want. Ergo this, ergo this. Where's fs used? Fs dot. We're still using fs. Okay, path dot. We're still using path. Prismadir. We're still using it. Yeah, it worked fine. Okay, so we'll reduce this. And it no longer needs to be done top of file. Okay, I think that's good. Nope, I don't think that's good. I don't want that comment. Dir name, Prismadir. Okay, I think that's fine. Let me run it one more time. Clay, what's going on? Long time no see. I'm working on the Leetcode tool. So this is a Leetcode tool, and now, for some, I'm gonna have to sub back up. Now I have some more time to tackle things. Cool. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so here I want to change a few things. All right, so first of all, let's commit this seed. Fix seed env issue. And I'll add a comment at the top. This file expects you to have .env, not .env.local or other names. .env should be a sibling So that fixes the seed issue. Here I will say fix the form overflow in the Leetcode tool and allow the user to pick pattern from a drop-down list. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, throw some likes on the video. That will help the algorithm send it around so we can grow the community and more people can learn how to code. HackDo, welcome in HackDo, cool name. HackDo, do you hack? I do, nice. Nice, I dig it, bro. Fix checklist access is open in 2 tabs, so we'll close one. Here, better checklist, cool. And now we are focused on number 555. Go ahead and activate a pull request over here. It's not going to be ready to go yet, but we'll get it going. So this is feat better Leetcode tool. Closes 555. Enables search Leetcode problem by name. Better deduping of Leetcode problems across sources. Enables filter by pattern. What else did we do? Oh, adds link to the list item. And it adds an external link specifically. Cool. So here we have pattern name filter. Cannot find the module. Cannot find the module. Pattern name filter. We export function. So it's here. So why do I see the pattern filter control? Is this still being used? So I think that's no longer necessary, but I'll let the AI confirm it. Okay, so here's the localhost tool. We're no longer overflowing. That's good. I would like the filter to operate on a button submission rather than a key event. Okay. Midwest Spaceman, that's a cool username. What am I working on? I'm working on this Leetcode tool. So currently it'll give you a random problem. Here's production. Production does not allow you to search by name. So we've added that here. You can see filter problems, ACK. But this is not super clear. I want to give it a label. Search by a problem. I guess that's clear enough. Search by a problem name. All patterns here, I can pick prefix sum, cool. I can pick try, nice. I can pick binary search. So this is another feature, filtering by the pattern, which is absent on production, but it's here. Filter by sources. Semantic search. I don't have semantic search, it's a keyword search. Why would you want a semantic search? Semantic search would be potentially confusing in this case, right? So with a semantic search, the token for binary search is similar to binary search tree or binary tree. But that's a very different pattern, isn't it? Would you want that result? Let me know. If you want it, maybe I'll do it. But I think that if I'm looking for a specific problem like threesome, I just want to see threesome. I don't know that I want to see foursome. Okay, cool. I mean, I could be persuaded. If I search for threesome, do I want twosome and foursome to show up? I guess it's kind of up to the users, right? Okay, so here's pattern filter control. I think this is no longer used. Good, it's no longer used. So I'll delete this file. Well, I'll delete that in another step. So for now, I want this apply search. I want it to be a little clearer what we're applying. So I want to say apply filter. Apply search. Apply search makes sense, that's fine. It'll include the... but I'd like it to be at the bottom, not on the right. Nice to see you live. I'll join next time. Cool. Thanks for being here. So I will ask the AI to align the drop downs. Oh, 975 likes. Thank y'all so much on TikTok. I bet we can break 1,000. I bet we can break 1,000. Okay, so pattern is working. 1 to 50 of 191. That seems wrong. Laterally expanded kata does not have 191 problems. Hackdo, thank you so much. Find duplicate numbers showing up. Okay, so we have duplicates. We have duplicates. That's the issue. Okay, filter by pattern, filter by source. Clear filter. Let's just remove the button. Good, all these filters seem to be working right now. Okay. How many problems does it contain? It's 27, 28. Laterally expanded kata is a list of 28 problems. And it is a superset of the standard kata. It is 28 problems in size, which is exactly twice as long as the standard kata, while still much smaller than other problem sets conventionally used for introductory Leetcode study. Okay, so it's 28, right? This is inaccurate because the laterally expanded kata contains 28 problems. Update the seed to validate the count. We should ensure that there is only one checklist called yeah, see, there's too many Leetcode problems checklists. That's the problem. That's the problem. Currently lab. So we're calling it idempotent, but it's not. Is that idempotent if I run it again and again and it keeps making more and more? I don't know. Idempotent. If I have an endpoint that I want to call, I want it to print 2, and I call it over and over and over, I think it should show 2, 2, 2. That's idempotent. 2, 3, 4 would not be idempotent, I think. Dead Revolver Ocelot on Twitch. What's up? Thanks for being here. Okay, so what do I want to do? This is inaccurate because the laterally kata contains 28 problems. Let me double check that, but I think that's true. Denoting an element of a set which is unchanged when multiplied or otherwise operated on by itself. See, it is being changed. ZX Sword, what's up? Long time no see. What are we building? We are improving the Leetcode tool. So here's the Leetcode tool in production. Currently, I cannot click the link to open the problem in a new tab. Currently, I cannot search by name or pattern. Here's localhost. And you see those features are now implemented. So I can filter by pattern. I can filter by source. I can filter by completion status. I can search by name, account. Accounts merge. What are you up to today? Okay, so let's npm run db seed. If a checklist exists, can you diff it and skip db operations if there is no diff, or reduce the call counts? So it's recreating everything every time right now. Leetcode problems. Yeah, now I have one Leetcode problems checklist. What is seed practices? Oh, it's a journal practice. Journal practice. It wants to hash them? Bro, chill. I guess that makes sense. I don't want to run this, so I'm just going to reject it. I mean, I get what you're doing, I get the reason for hashing, but I don't want that. Okay, so what is the user story asking for? Have we met the requirement? Let's not scope creep ourselves, right? Sword, I just finished building a RAG system with tools to talk with our membership database. Brain dead. Gotcha, gotcha. That sounds pretty fun. Okay, so here's a better Leetcode tool we're passing, right? The requirement says, I want to find more binary search problems, but right now it's a pain. So now I can just find the binary search problems. Although I think I only have like one. Whoa. Localhost is down, my bad. Cool, it's got binary search in the URL, so it's preserved. That's cool. So there's find peak element, right? That's the only one. And let me reset this, and let me go to the expanded kata. And look, it says showing 1 to 50 of 165. Why, bro? Let me look at my database. So, checklist item. Checklist number 16. Okay, so here's my database. You see this? Here's checklist number 16. And then here's checklist item. And it'll have a foreign key. to the checklist ID. Here it is. There's the checklist ID. So I want the filter by the checklist ID. And I'm looking for bro. Man, I'm glad that was hashed because I was the wrong table. Okay. I'm looking for the checklist. So here's checklist. Leetcode problems, number 16. So here's checklist item 1916. Okay. Solve on Leetcode is the link text. So I'm going to be looking for pattern. Laterally expanded kata. Oh, it's grabbing if it says multiple. That's where the issue's coming in. Got it. If it says that the problem is multiply attested, it's grabbing it under any of them. That's not what it should do. Okay. Currently, if a problem is a Leetcode problem, if a Leetcode problem is mentioned in multiple sources, it only receives source multiple. This is not what I want. I want it to receive source multiple in addition to the particular source tags. This change will resolve the following problem. Okay. Merge sources, keep list of specific sources, and add multiple when applicable. Thank you. Good gracious. So includes source multiple. I don't know that that's needed. Hold on. Yeah, it seems unnecessary. Okay. Okay, so we see these scripts, Python. We will Python create unified Leetcode list. That creates an issue. See what the change is here. If it's instance, get source list. If it's an instance, okay. We can always just look at the length, right? We don't need to check. Whatever, I don't care. I don't care. That's like a small optimization. Okay. Problems from multiple sources, 162. Good. Now, I don't want to see them all when I look for laterally expanded kata. I only want to see 28. Pattern source tag is misleading. Sorry about that. I should have just said source tag. Oh, it says source tag is a bit confusing. Sorry. Stop. Just say source tag. Continue and revert. Continue and revert. Kata tag. I dig it. I dig it, man. Ooh, we are running way too many operations. Whew. That really bugs me. That really bugs me. You guys are checklist. I'm seeing Leetcode problems number 20. I see only one Leetcode problems checklist. This is good. Now there's all these other checklists. That's bad. There's all these other checklists, and that's bad. But I'm only looking at the Leetcode one for now. Okay. So now we want to verify. Here is localhost, so I need to npm run dev. Okay. Now I want to find 1 to 28 from laterally expanded kata. That's what I'm talking about. All right, show me the grind. Show me Leetcode 250. It's 250. Show me grind 75. There's 169. That's actually true. That's actually true. There are 169 problems in the grind 75. There are not 75 problems. Isn't that funny? What about the blind 75? We don't even talk about it because the creator of the blind 75 says the grind 75 is a better blind 75. So blind 75 is not even cool. What about multiply attested? There are 162. What about all? There are 349. What about Sean Prashad? All right, we're killing it, y'all. This is good. This is good. There's the laterally expanded kata. There is no laterally 500 yet. There's no laterally 500 yet. And I don't know that there ever will be. So do I want to just go for 400 instead of 500? Let's see. How many Leetcode problems should I do? A good starting point is 100 to 150. No, I want the interviewing.io order. Interviewing.io or interviewing.io article. Stop it. Show me the article. Here we go. This is the one. This is the one. Okay, so the difference between 400, 500, 600, yeah. Yeah. There's a difference. Well, look at that big drop at the 400 mark, right? I want to know, what is this partition number here? It's more than 300 and it's less. Is that 350? It's more than 300 and it's less than 400. So you want to do more than 300. So 350 could be cool, and then you hit this valley of small benefit, seemingly. But then Fang has it the rest of the way. Fang has it the rest of the way. Let's see. Yeah, it really seems like if your goal is to get into Fang, see, that's tricky. How do you interpret that? Fang engineers do more Leetcode questions than their non-Fang counterparts. Across the board except for here? That's conspicuous. How do I get over 50%? So here, let's say .15, .1. So let's say that that's 30. Here's 40. Here's 50. Okay, so that's an interesting fact. That if you've done 350, if I'm reading this right, and that'll depend on this number being 350. Let's just go 400. If I go 400, I've done more than the majority of Fang engineers. So there's .15, it's almost .2, but conservatively .15. So I think we can add these two first green bars and it's still conservatively dot 3, and then this is over dot 1, this is over dot 1. So it's 3, 4, 5, and this is over dot 5. So this is over, you're over 55%, because it's the fraction of engineers. So you're over 55%. But then the naysayer would say, yeah, you've done more than 55%, but why not do even more? Why not do even more? And I think the answer is because that is an unbounded problem. Are you just going to do all of them? More FANG engineers have done over 1,000. So should everyone be doing over 1,000? No, it's the diminishing returns. As you might expect, there are seriously diminishing returns associated with doing more than 500 questions. I'm aligned on that, but I'm questioning, what about this 350, 400 mark? So I think this is why I went for the 500, just because they outright say diminishing returns associated with doing more than 500. And why would that be? Well, there's just not that much space to reclaim. So actually, no, even at this point, you've already exhausted half of the probability space. So the remainder will necessarily be less than half. That's right. So this is 30, 40, 50, 55. So the maximum here is going to be 45. Let's go with this 400, okay? Let's go with this 400, yeah. So you've done 55% by the time you get to 400. You could do 800, so you can double the number of problems. But this is going to add up to 1, so that you're like less than 90. So here's 05, 05. You can add those together, get another 05. So there's dot 1, dot 15, dot 1, dot 15. I think you're really getting 20%. You're getting 20% by the time, and you have to go over 800 to get that 20%. So yeah, so you get to 400. If you get to 400, you've got 55 to 60% done. Then if you get to 800, you're only adding 20%. So I guess, if you have this like uber strong preference, you could do that. But that is just objectively lower return. It's just objectively lower return. Now, if you have some crazy high supernormal value of desire for FANG, then maybe you can justify that extra, time expenditure, fine. Or if you just think Leetcode is fun. I mean, there's those people too, but they're pretty rare. Yeah, so that's going to be the kicker. That's going to be the kicker, is that you get to 400, this is going to be about 60%. You double that and you're only going to 80%. And then the next 400 is, getting you another 20, so then you're at 100. Yeah. Getting started matters more than attempting to complete a particular question difficulty. Okay, so did we answer the 400 versus 500? Yes, we did. There are diminishing marginal returns even at 400. And you can tell because of the efficiency of these green bars. This region looks particularly low efficiency. I would rather go up to 650 than 450. You see what I'm saying? See, it's just not precisely numbered. So is 500 supposed to capture this guy? Is that the idea of a 500? I think so. So let's count that off then. I'm going to say that this green bar plus this green bar plus this green bar is going to be over .25. So there's a tiny difference there. It's almost .05, and that's almost .2. So I think that takes care of it, okay? So .2, .25 plus these bits. So that's .3, 10, 10, 10. Really 10, 10, 15. So yeah, so I like it. We'll stick with 500. We'll stick with, basically it gives you another dot one. So would you rather be at 55% or 65%? All things held constant, you'd rather be at 65%, but then that logic continues all the way up to 100%. No, you need to kill it, right? You need to kill it, because if you like these two bars are even better. If you like these two bars are even better. And this bar is better than this bar. And this bar is better than this bar. So you really need to go all the way up to 800, don't you? If you're saying, I think if you're saying you want 500, then you really need to go 800. If the argument is from efficiency. Hey bud, what's up? Oh, hi girl.
Hi. Sam doesn't have pants, or he can't find any underwear, so he's holding his shirt like this so we can't see it.
All right. Oh, that sounds weird. I'll come upstairs. All right. See you, chat. I guess